I watched the budget unfold and the chaotic scenes of the OBR, but we must remember that the budget in the UK will be watched by all the markets and all the global leaders and people who are watching the economy. How is the UK being viewed? Because, you know, Isabel was giving us the look from inside London. How is it viewed on a wider scale?
Well, as an outsider, if I might say, the UK, just even before talking about the budget, the influence, the image, it's so important to the world. And let's not forget that this budget gives us a glimpse about the mood, about the atmosphere within the G7, within the economies of the West in general. It's still about austerity, still about more taxes, and still about not being able to find a solution to have, to redress the whole thing. Now, it's also interesting to see that how this whole budget story unfolds when the very image of London in the world is also much more these days, unfortunately, about stealing watches and phones than about, museums and great stories. So this story is unfolding with a certain degradation in the image and the narrative and what people speak, unfortunately, which is definitely exaggerated, but it's also speak tons about how the world is now seeing the UK. Although it's so important because the UK is so important, because so many people look up to this country. We're so influenced, so emotionally attached to this country. At the same time, Brexit is 9 years ago, happened. We have plenty of questions. Where did we get to? And not many answers. And the big reality in the world is that the West, the economies of the West, is not creating happy people. Not in the UK, not even in America, and mostly, and definitely not in the rest of Europe, which is also dragging in the misery of not finding a way to get out of this, economic dilemma.
It's almost like an economic doom loop happening at the moment. We go lurch from one crisis to another crisis to another crisis.
Yeah, and more taxes is always the way, and it's obvious that it's not leading anywhere.